Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Wave Listens Live. I'm your host, Brian Chlonsky. Another great show for you today. The Elder Advisors back with us in studio, helping you not go broke in a nursing home. We'll also have an important message from Donate Life Kentucky ahead of Father's Day weekend. So let's start with Larry Weiss here in the studio again.
Why start anywhere else, right?
We never do.
Hello, Kentuckiana. How you doing? Don't go broke in the nursing home. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
And you can learn more at the workshops.
Workshops. It is workshop time, end of June, Monday at on Crittenden at the Hilton Garden Inn at 10 a.m. Right off exit 132 on 65, and then Tuesday at the Hampton Inn on Broadway off Veterans Parkway. And Wednesday, we're going north. We're going up to Seymour, Indiana.
All right.
At the Fairfield Inn, 10 a.m. So we're doing the road trip then because it's good news. Because the reality is, Brian, so many people just govern themselves off the barbershop law. You know, everything's bad. Everything's negative. You know, it's no sense doing anything. And, you know, we always have the workshops well attended, knock on wood, but there's always a couple empty chairs. And I kind of liken that to the people that have subscribed to nothing can be done. You know, I'm down to my last $25,000. I'll just leave it here at the nursing home because Bob said when Aunt Mary went in Arkansas, they lost everything. Well, that might have happened to Aunt Mary in Arkansas or Ben Jones that was helping or whatever, but it doesn't have to happen here if you engage elder advisors. So you wait for it. Don't go broke in a nursing home. You don't have to.
And that's not your only slogan.
It is not.
Because think about this. Okay, so you talked about maybe it did happen to some story that you heard about in a barbershop or on the internet. Well, maybe it happened to them because of planning. Give them that line.
Or lack of planning. You know, or lack of planning, or they thought they could just, you know, mom only had $30,000 so she could give each of the kids $15,000 because the IRS says you can. Well, that's fine for the IRS, but not for Medicaid because they will disallow that because that's a penalty. But there's ways that we address that. So, and I always start the workshops, and I tell the folks, I said, you don't have to be honest with me, but I think to get something out of the workshop, you need to be honest with yourself, Brian. So I asked 3 key questions. How many people have a loved one in a nursing home now or about to go to nursing home? Hands go up. That's crisis planning. For husband and wife, if one spouse goes in, Brian, we can protect all the assets. It's what we call special exceptions because there are special transfer exceptions for husband and wife. And that's crisis planning. We can help. If it's a single person, we can still protect about half of the assets. Then the second variable is how many people have a loved one at home. We're trying to keep some eyes on them. Maybe develop plans so they don't have to go to a nursing home. Hands go up then. That's pre-crisis planning. And Marianne Keller with Elder Advisors, as a 40-year master level social worker, she has developed programs and strategies and makes use of the options out in the community to keep people at home. Because in all fairness, no one probably wants to go to a nursing home. So now we have the ability to go beyond the financial component of giving people peace of mind to stay at home. And that's what Marianne brings to the table as a master level social worker to develop strategies to stay in their home.
You've said this to me before, but fail to plan, plan to fail.
Yeah.
And one of the important aspects of going to a workshop like this is you may not even know what you don't know yet.
It's so true.
And how do you put yourself in a position to succeed when you're going through all these life changes if you don't even have all the information yet?
Right. Then come to the workshop. I mean, you know, go to freeworkshop.com. You know, it's real simple. Freeworkshop.com. It solves all your problems. Or you can use the telephone, you know, 855-LARRY-55. It answers all of your questions, Kentuckiana. But I mean, you know, unfortunately, we spend more time on our weekend planning our grocery list to go to the store or a fishing trip with the kids. We spend all this innate time for that. We spend very little effort trying to protect what we spent a lifetime working for or trying to manage now. And those people that don't do that, and that's most of it's human nature, then we run into train wrecks, and you don't have to. You just don't have to.
You and I spend a lot of time planning our suits, of course, but, you know, gotta look good.
I'm so emotional. Kentuckiana, this isn't live TV, so it's tape delay.
Right.
You know, I am so, inside, I'm emotionally devastated because once again, Brian, you've upstaged me on live television.
Not a chance.
I mean, look, fundamentally, you're a good-looking guy, and then it's just enhanced with the suit, and I don't have any place to go here.
To be fair, they're supposed to take my Listens Live headshots after the show today, so I had to step it up just for today.
Look, Brian, you're good-looking as it is. You don't have to explain it away and excuse it. I'm homely, and I accept my lot in life.
See me when I wake up in the
Stop
morning.
it. Hey, Kentuckiana, don't go broke in the nursing home. You don't have to.
This is the best part about having you on. It's like we have a great time every time Larry's on the show.
I'm a beautiful woman, Kentuckiana.
It's a lot of fun. You learn something new every day. The thing that I want people to know about you is you put your whole life into this.
I do.
You really care about the people that you help. What are those moments like when you've seen something start to finish and you know how maybe it would have played out had Elder Advisors not not been there.
Well, that happens all the time, and I can tell you where it starts. We had a gentleman this morning. He and his wife came up from E-Town, and he's concerned about his mother. Autumn was going to be here today in the show, but she's burning the candle at both ends, so she's got to triage her time to help this family with placement because he's ill. He wants to make sure mom is taken care of, his wife is taken care of. So Autumn's burning up the phone with placement because placement's very difficult. And when we wrapped up in about an hour, he just said, wow, this is just really moving fast. And I told him, I said, a rolling stone gathers no moss. I mean, we're at crisis plan. You're getting a bill for $10,000 a month. We got to go. If you want to sit and think about and pontificate, you can, but then you're going to get a bill for $10,000, and 2 weeks later you're going to get a bill for August, another $10,000. This is go time. You got to go. I love what I do. High energy, surprise, spoiler alert.
Shocker.
Right, but I love what I do. I'm so truly blessed. I really am. I've got 7 great people that work with me. I surround myself with top talent. One of that top talent will be Debbie Goldberg coming out in the next segment because I don't know everything. I don't do everything, so I make sure. I was on the phone with Jeff Hurst, Remax Properties East, lining him up for the family in E-Town because we got to get the house sold. In that case, for Debbie, they want the house sold. But if not, there's options she can bring to the table.
It's a perfect teaser for the next segment because because of the energy you bring, the passion to what you do, you have all these great partnerships, and we've had attorneys that you bring on.
Absolutely.
And today, the guest that you're bringing with us, you talked about Debbie, she brings a whole new industry to the market. It does,
and it's something that I wasn't aware of. And just like with Marianne Keller, before Marianne came on board, I realized I was a financial advocate. I'm protecting the assets. And a lot of times I would tell the families, well, when mom falls, goes to nursing home, call me. Well, now we don't have to wait for that to happen. Now Marianne can get out to the home and assess the situation and needs the families have, so maybe we can stay at home so we never have to deal with the crisis plan of the nursing home. It starts with a phone call, 855-LARRY55. freeworkshop.com answers all your questions.
Don't go anywhere. So we got another segment coming up next. We're going to talk about that new industry, everything you need to know. More with Larry and Debbie joining us after the break.